You have been taught a comfortable lie. You believe that mastery is merely about trying harder when you feel lazy, about waking up early or organizing your desk with colorful charts. We have all been deceived into thinking that discipline is a simple matter of willpower or finding the perfect motivational quote. But if the simple act of organizing the surface could truly solve the rot that exists in the foundations, wouldn't we all be masters of our own lives by now? The truth is far more brutal. Discipline is not random effort, it is internal war. In this battle, either you govern your mind with the focus of a commander governing their forces, or you will be instantly crushed by your own weaknesses. Most people are not living, they are decaying. They are like unguarded cities, constantly invaded by uncontrolled impulses, sabotaged by their own inherent disorder, and becoming easy victims to the very first temptation that appears. They fail to grasp that without strategic discipline, there is no real strength, no lasting victory, and certainly no freedom. Those who refuse to impose order on their internal world are perpetually enslaved by the chaos they permit. If you fail to govern yourself, you are handing over the keys to your entire destiny to another force, to whatever impulse happens to blow stronger than your weak desire. Just like an empty throne, your life will always be governed by something. Either you occupy your place with absolute dominion, or you will be ruled. Now understand this, the world does not reward intentions, it rewards control. It rewards those who, even when surrounded by disorder or under immense pressure, can maintain their strategic focus. For true power, discipline is not a moral luxury or a beautiful ideal. It is a matter of pure, unadulterated survival. Without it, even the most promising of individuals becomes easy prey for the forces he cannot control. External order, the stability of a career, the strength of a personal reputation, is nothing more than a reflection of the order you maintain within. There can be no lasting conquest for those who are slaves to their own impulses.
We need to forget the childish notion that success depends on motivation. Discipline is structure. It is the permanent armor that keeps you steady in the face of acting out of fear, anger, or vanity. The ruin of an undisciplined person does not come from their adversaries alone. It comes from the internal gaps they refused to seal. Acting without calculation, moving without preparation, reacting without reflection, these are the guaranteed paths to downfall. Your mind is a battlefield. Imagine attempting to win a war with an army that has no training, no strategy, and no obedience. That would be an announced slaughter. No amount of spontaneous bravery can save soldiers who cannot resist panic or endure fatigue. If your mind operates like an undisciplined army, no conscious command you issue will ever have effect. You can write resolutions and set goals, but if your thoughts and emotions are not trained to obey, they will immediately desert at the first real challenge. You will find yourself betraying your own ambitions. Real strength does not lie in the sheer quantity of desires you hold, but in the mastery you exercise over them. Victory belongs only to those who obey their strategies, not their fleeting emotions. The greatest challenge we face is the unpredictable tide of existence. Fate is not a just entity. It is a blind, relentless force, like a colossal flood that sweeps away the unprepared and destroys poorly protected structures. If you are not strong enough to govern your life, the unforgiving tide of chance will govern it for you. Those who wait for luck to smile without having made preparations are condemning themselves to ruin. This is why you must build internal dikes. You must cultivate an unbreakable will and a disciplined mind so that you can withstand when the storm inevitably arrives. The power to withstand, this is what transforms ordinary people into builders of their own destiny. This internal power is the ability to adapt, to act with strategic intelligence, and to resist the childish impulse to blame external luck for internal failures. Great people do not depend on luck. They challenge it. They build their own defenses before the flood. They train their minds for conflict while others still sleep, cradled by the illusion that everything will simply work out. The modern world has turned discipline into a grotesque farce. They tell you it is about habits, apps, and self-help slogans, easy tricks to win humanity's oldest battle. But this is a conditioned lie. True discipline is not comfortable. It is pain. It is a declared, ruthless war against everything cowardly, weak, and lazy inside you. You fail because you are seeking a shortcut. Real discipline is not born from comfort. It is born from confrontation. It requires acting even when your body screams for rest and your mind tries desperately to negotiate surrender. The discipline that forges true inner strength is structural, not emotional. It ignores your mood. It despises motivation. It imposes itself as a mental fortress built from stone, not fleeting feeling. If you wait to feel ready, you live like one waiting for someone else to decide their fate. To build the kind of discipline that can reshape your entire existence, you must abandon the need for comfort. Embrace the hardness. It is time to turn this philosophy into brutal, daily, inflexible practice. You must establish your internal war strategies before the battle begins. If you wake up waiting to see how you feel before deciding how to act, you have already lost. Your victory is decided in the early hours, long before the world even realizes you are in the game.
Here is the non-negotiable method, the commander's code. First, maintain constant vigilance. You must inspect your own thoughts and behaviors every day, without exception, like a general inspecting their army before conflict. Ask yourself constantly, where are the gaps? At what moment are my raw emotions seizing command? Every small habit of laziness, every innocent excuse or silly distraction is a crack through which failure will invade your fortress. Every time you procrastinate, that is a catapult aimed at your own walls. Constant vigilance means immediately correcting flaws and acting like a commander who tolerates no sign of decay. Second, implement clear strategy routines that eliminate the need for decision. Your brain, if given the option, will always choose the path of least resistance. Every doubt consumes willpower, and those who hesitate die. Rigid routines are not shackles, they are true freedom. You must establish fixed times for your essential duties, to wake, to work, to train, and adhere to them as if you were a soldier following absolute orders. If you wait to decide whether to train after a tiring day, your brain will sabotage you. Training must become a non-negotiable commitment embedded in your identity. Third, enforce relentless reinforcement with real consequences for failure. In the real world, a mistake is not a detail. It is the difference between life and death. You must create an immediate, tangible, and painful price if you fail to follow your routines. Your mind must understand that failure is not an acceptable option. This is not just about seeking rewards, it is primarily about avoiding ruin. A soldier in training does not choose to run 5 kilometers because he feels motivated. He runs because failure means punishment, shame, or expulsion. Your mind must operate the same way. It obeys because it is the necessary structure, not because it is comfortable. Building real discipline is about putting chains on yourself before the world puts shackles on you. If you have heard this truth and felt its severity, you now face the ultimate choice.
Many will hear these words and return instantly to their lives of excuses and self-sabotage. They will go back to being subjects of their own impulses, begging for crumbs of luck. But a select few will choose to stop being governed and instead start governing. Your mind is your territory. Your habits are your troops. Your decisions are your war strategies. You will either be the commander or you will be the prisoner. There never was, and there is not now, any middle ground. Perhaps you believe you still have time, that you can start next week when things settle down. But the person who waits for the perfect moment will be destroyed by the first sudden tide of misfortune. The moment is now. Discipline yourself not for comfort and not for approval, but because your freedom depends on it. Your greatness demands it. Now, I want to hear your commitment. In the comments below, write these words: I choose to be the commander. Let this be a public statement, recorded as the first conscious act of your new discipline. It is not for me, it is for you. A critical step to remember that mastering the world begins with mastering yourself. And once you have done that, do not stop here. Click on the next video appearing on your screen now. It is vital for further strengthening your mind so that every decision you make from this day forward is a firm step towards total mastery. Watch, reflect, evolve. You are only just beginning to forge yourself.